Hi, Warriors. It's Coach, TradeGATEHub.com, sponsored by TradeView. And Mike is busy today, so I'm going to give you an update. I'm just going to follow up with yesterday and bring a little bit of equity flavor into it. Everyone that's following me know I've been looking for a new low in the dollar under par. I think it's probably going to take the rest of the month for that to manifest. Here's your daily, and see where this return line is coming in nowadays. I don't think it's going to be lower than 98, even have some numbers in the 99 range. So we'll see what happens there. So everything's on track. Euro did get to 110 yesterday, and it's trying to reverse. I don't think that's it. I still think there's more left to it. Eventually 112 are my targets. Pound came back yesterday from the dead. It's diverging. I'm looking for maybe 132 max, 130 to 132. And then if the dollar does continue to weaken, the commodity currencies, especially the Aussie, we're going to have new recovery highs for euro. We already, we're there. And for the pound, we're there. And for the Aussie, we're not there. We're well off this. I remember I was short from 68.80. So if a weak dollar can drag Aussie up towards 67.80, 68, I'm looking for short. So I'm going to prepare you for whatever the outcomes are. I don't know if we're going to have great inflation numbers. Everyone's expecting it. The market's expecting it. So it wouldn't really be a shocker. In fact, it might be buy the news, sell the fact on good inflation news. We have a double header, CPI tomorrow, PPI Thursday, but I'm a seller in Aussie if we get a rally up to this level. Talk about the yen. That was probably one of the best calls, forecast trades of the last month or so. Pretty classic here. We're heading towards this 50-day moving average, so perhaps this 140 level holds. And then you just do simple arithmetic, call it about a 500 pip decline in 4 days. So if we had dollar strength come in and yields start to go up again, we could have a recovery rally between 142, 143. That's a sell in my books. I'm not going to buy it looking for the trade to the upside, because that's not the trade. The trade would be to sell a failing rally. 42.5, 43.5, 43 is about 61.8 back. So that's my currency take. The gold silver ratio seems to begin to favor gold again for another high. This doesn't look bearish to me. Looks like we could head higher. And the gold is trying to, someone's talking about a head and shoulders bottom. Let's take a look at that. So, they're looking at this level. It's possible getting through 1940. I've been talking about 1970, 1980 for a few weeks. I still think that's viable unless we start closing back under 1920. Gold shares are acting okay. They look like they're, for at least a trade. You have things like GDX not doing much today, but I thought we might be able to get a rally back to 32, 33 while gold is doing that. So just something to keep an eye on. TLT is up a little bit today. I don't know, could we leave an island bottom or continue to new lows? Yields are a pretty confusing trade, so that's okay because I don't have to trade it. So I'm just going to let the yields have that picture clear up for me. So, there's TLT. Here's your 10-year yield. You have to respect the breakout that we had on the weekly last week, but the 10-year could pull all the way back to the breakout level at 380 and still be okay. Back under 380, there's a problem. I do want to go back to the yen because I do think that this could end up being a campaign type of trade. And say, for example, we get this rally back to 43. Like I was saying yesterday, 38, a big level. And if we take out 38, that opens the door for new lows. As far as I'm concerned, that would break the uptrend. I want to talk about NASDAQ is rebalancing. So why are they rebalancing? Because if stocks like Apple, which hasn't acted too well the last couple of days, begin to really cave, it's going to make the NASDAQ 100 one of the weaker indexes, and they don't want that to happen. So it's almost like it's a little bit of a market tell. They're worried about the high concentration of Apple and Microsoft. If you look at Apple, and I know I was very early on this, but we had this gap up on the goggles, and then we filled it, which made it an exhaustion gap. And then yesterday we gapped down from Friday's action. Doesn't fill it unless it's 90-20. And, I look at the S&Ps and I say, you know what? S&Ps look like on any good news, they could make new highs and set up something like a 3 drive. So shows up pretty good on the daily, right? Here's 1, here's 2, we diverged. And if we take out those highs, maybe trade towards 4,500 and the RSI stays under 70, would be a great time to raise cash and sell, I believe, the big mega cap techs, because I think there's going to be a rotation out of mega cap tech and into more value plays like the energy sector. And, you could look at 2 of the generals of this whole move in tech has been Apple, and it's been Microsoft, and it's been Amazon. But take a look at Microsoft here. I think I skipped it. Here's the XLF, not acting bad. Semiconductors aren't making new highs yet. They may go for it. Here's NVIDIA. Even if it makes a new high, it's going to diverge for the first time, just like the S&Ps, for a 3rd drive to a top. So, there are certain things that the copper stocks do not look that good to me. Copper, I don't like copper either right now. And here's Microsoft fighting its way back, but be surprised to see a new high in Microsoft under 320. You have a head and shoulders. Maybe we build the shoulder again, but under this neckline, 322, you're talking about a $30 formation is going to give you 292. And oh, what a coinkydink. There's the gap. So don't try and play roulette and guess the number. If you have winning positions, tighten up your stops and react to the reaction. And those are my ideas to take advantage of it. We always welcome you to come in and post your charts and ideas and ask questions in TradeGATEHub, and also suggest checking out TradeView Markets, their platforms, and the flexibility to trade almost everything you could think of. Remember, most of all, don't just count your pips, count your blessings.